So the Tower of Adversity just got reset, and it seems Kuro took the feedback from version 2.6 quite seriously because the buffs provided in the 3rd and 4th floor heavily synergize with a lot of units in the game, and you can see that the crit damage right here is more universal compared to the buffs that was provided in the previous reset that heavily synergized with only Augusta and Yuno. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys through the new content that we've gotten in this reset, recommend teams that you can use, and provide showcases with easily accessible characters or free-to-play characters in the game. And in case you're wondering why I even bother to use free-to-play characters or easily accessible characters to clear them, I do it mostly every reset to get an idea of how old units have been power crept by new content in the game, so that we can get an idea of how the game is progressing in terms of power creep, or if it has reached the stage where you always need the best in slot for every DPS character to clear endgame content. Now before we get into the breakdown, do keep in mind that every footage used in this video was captured on the media server, so some things may or may not be subject to change when the tower officially resets on the official server. I'll have timestamps below so that you can quickly navigate to your preferred section. Let's start with the Resonant tower. The first buff shreds Havoc resistance by 10%. And when Resonators cast an intro skill, their crit damage is increased by 20% and they gain 40% basic attack damage for 18 seconds. You can see that these buffs right here has a 100% synergy with Camellia, but that doesn't necessarily mean that only Camellia teams can clear the Resonant tower. Failover teams will work, and Havoc Rover teams can work as well. Aside from Havoc teams, all other teams that you can think of can actually work in this tower because of the crit damage right here, which is quite universal. And the enemies here, including Chop Chop and Dragon of Dirge, have a low HP compared to the middle tower. I was able to clear the 4th floor with Solo Danjin, as you can see right here. Before we get into the showcase, let me show you the build that I'm running on Danjin. Alright, here we go.
Harmonize. Judgment. Strike. Upswing. Cool. Upswing. Upswing. Vanquish. No mercy. Strike. Upswing. Vanquish. Eradicate. Upswing. No mercy. Upswing. Repose. Upswing. Strike. Repose. Strike. Eradicate. Harmonize. Upswing. Oblivion. Harmonize. No mercy.
For the Echoing Tower, the first buff shreds fusion resistance by 10%, and for the second buff, fusion damage bonus is increased by 25%. Dealing damage with an intro skill causes a blast that deals 1500 fusion damage, which is absolutely insane. triggered once every 10 seconds. And do keep in mind that the damage from the 1500% will be significantly higher if it's triggered by fusion hybrids like Xiangli, Brand, Lupa, or fusion dedicated main damage dealers like Galbrena. For the 4th floor, I was able to clear it with Solo Chixia. Before we get into the showcase of the 4th floor, let me show you the build that I'm running on Chixia. She's running the Last Dance, or call her the signature weapon. Do keep in mind that Chixia's forte circuit, or Boom Boom, scales off resonance skill damage, so if I use Boom Boom 5 seconds after casting her liberation, the damage output is going to be higher since it's going to take advantage of the 48% resonance skill damage bonus, as you can see right here. I'm running the 5-piece Molten Rift. Alright, here we go.
Time for some hot action. That's up. No biggie.
For the 1st and 2nd floor, enemy electro resistance and arrow resistance are being shredded by 10%, while havoc resistance and spectral resistance are increased by 10%. When resonators cast resonance liberation, you obtain a shield, and when resonators obtain a shield, their attribute damage is increased by 10% and their attack is increased by 12%, stacking up to 3 times. This means that you can get up to 36% attack and 30% all-type attribute damage bonus. Now do keep in mind that the first part right here is restricted to the resonator that casts the liberation. So when I use Baijia's liberation, you can see that she obtains a shield right here. However, if I switch to Jianxin, you can see that I don't have any shield on Jianxin. And if I switch to Xiangli, you can see that I don't have any shield as well. But if I switch back to Baijia, you can see that the shield is still there. So this means that the liberation method of gaining a shield is just there as a universal way of obtaining at least 12% attack and 10% attribute damage bonus for any DPS units that you decide to use. You can see that these buffs right here heavily synergize with Augusta and Yuno. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that only Yuno and Augusta can clear them. As long as the main damage dealer belongs to the electro element or the arrow element, you should be able to clear this floor just fine. For the first floor and the second floor, I'm going to be using Baijia, Xiangli and Jianxin as the easily accessible units to clear them. I'm running Jianxin not only because of the ultra buff that amplifies liberation damage by 38%, but she can regenerate shields as well, which can make Xiangli benefit from the attack buff and the all-type attribute damage bonus that the second part of the buffs provide. Here's the build that I'm running on my Jianxin. Here's the build that I'm running on Xiangli Yao. This is how Baixa's build looks like. There's no variation on this account, so I'm using Showkeeper's signature mainly because of the 8 concerto energy that you can get when she casts her liberation. Alright, here we go.
Chi lasts evermore. Verity shines. Of evil be gone here before me.
Variable elimination. Pierce through the stars. Reconfiguration.
Leave it to me. Endless reverberation. Foolish. Embrace the oneness. Men of banish all fire before me.
Variable elimination. All shall reveal itself. Reconfiguration.
Leave it to me. Verity shines. Of evil be gone here before me. Universe in my psyche. This
Variable elimination. Pierce through the stars. Reconfiguration.
embrace the oneness. Endless reverberation. Banish all vice.
Variable elimination. All shall reveal itself. Reconfiguration. Reconfiguration. Disruption. Complete overall.
Leave it to me. Verity shines. Transmitting freak of evils be gone here before me. Universe in my psyche. Like this?
Variable elimination. Pierce through the stars. Reconfiguration. Reconfiguration. Conditions up.
Leave it to overhaul. Rejuvenating snow. Foolish. Banish all fire before me. Embrace the oneness. Like this?
Variable elimination. All shall reveal itself. Export. Reconfiguration. What? Copy. Yep. Reconfiguration.
For the third and fourth floor, the first buff will increase the total damage dealt by all resonators up to 60%, but you only start to benefit from this buff after 60 seconds in increments of 5% every 5 seconds, so it's not really reliable. However, if you come to the second part of the buffs right here, this is where things start to get a bit more interesting. Crit damage is increased by 35%, and echo skill damage is amplified by 50%. When resonators cast an intro skill, they gain a 50% heavy attack damage bonus. Right off the bat, we can see that all damage dealers in the game, regardless of the attribute that they belong to, can benefit from the 35% crit damage, as you can see right here. For the echo skill damage amplification, characters that can benefit include Forlova, since Hecate's damage is considered as echo skill damage, and Galbrena, since her liberation, basic attack stage 5 and 4 in the demon hyperstasis mode, skills of echo skill damage. Now, the 50% heavy attack damage bonus right here benefits units like Zoni and DPS Phoebe. Inflicting negative status effects like Spectrofrazzle on an enemy increases your defense by 10%, and do keep in mind that this is not a defense shred on the enemy, it's just a defensive buff to your resonators, and buffs their attack up to 30% as well for 5 seconds. So you can't really go wrong with DPS Phoebe or Zoni team compositions in the third and fourth floor. And do keep in mind that none of the enemies are highly resistant to spectral damage. The team that I'll be using in the first and fourth floor will be the free-to-play Galbrena team composition. Here's the build that I'm running on all teammates. Alright, here we go.
Luminous energy. Behave now.
Fury boils. Burn to ashes. Inferno. Let's do this another way.
I'll show you.
The gates of hell.
Painted hellfire.
Devour them
Behave.
Fury boils. As you wish.
Bask in the sunlight.
Fury boils. Silence. Inferno. Let's do
Speak of the devil. By my trigger, enter Hell's Gate!
scorches to
Explode!
To hell with you.
Painted hellfire!
Devour them
Behave them!
Fury boils. Burn.
Life is in everything!
Fury boils. Burn to ashes. As you wish.
You can't escape me. I've come to send you to your grave.
A fresh face.
Explode!
To hell with you.
Fight fire! Behave!
Fury boils. Feel my wrath. Please burn.
Bask in the sunlight!
Fury boils. Let's got you this another way.
The hunt ends here!
As you wish.
You can't escape me. I'll show you.
The gates of hell.
Hate the hellfire.
Devour them Fury boil. Inferno.
Wind's breath.
Life is in everything. Listen up, fruit of evolution.
Fury boil. Burn to ashes. Burn.
Gotcha. By my figure. Enter Hell's Gate.
Scorches to
Fight fire with fire.
Let's strength break.
Behave.
Fury boil. As you wish.
Bask in the sunlight. Fruit of evolution.
Fury boil. Feel my wrath. Inferno.
You can't escape me. The hunt ends here.
Time to go. No time to lick your wound.
That'll be all for the breakdown and showcase of version 2.7 Tower of Adversity reset. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments and I'll respond as soon as I can. Be sure to also join our Discord community if you're having any issues with the game, help with your builds, or you just want a place to chill or hang out. Link will be in the pinned comment below. And if you enjoyed the video or it was informative in any way, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to help support the channel. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.